Hello, I'm Brad Addington, Chief Editor of Packaging Strategies, and this is the Packaging Perspectives podcast. With more and more states passing extended producer responsibility legislation for packaging, the Maryland legislature was the latest to do so, sustainable packaging is only going to become more important. There are many routes to sustainable packaging, and one of those is plant-based, compostable, alternative plastic. PlantSwitch has emerged as a leader in this area, and today we are pleased to have with us Dillon Baxter, co-founder and CEO of PlantSwitch, to discuss some of the game-changing packaging options that the company is providing. Hey, Dillon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I have a lot to learn here. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot here today. So for those who might not be familiar with PlantSwitch, could you first tell us a little bit about the company?
Yeah, absolutely. So at PlantSwitch, our mission is to create truly biodegradable products that people love and can afford. The core of our technology is upcycling agricultural waste into a direct plastic replacement that feels and functions like a traditional plastic does, but biodegrades in the natural environment in a matter of just a couple months. We also are very focused on quality and cost, and we feel that we've really differentiated ourselves there. It seems like pretty much everyone wants to get away from plastic. It's just a matter of, if not plastic, then what? People don't want paper straws. They don't want to pay 5 times as much, and they want something that's going to be truly sustainable. And unfortunately, there just are very few options out there that really hit the mark on those three. And that's what at PlantSwitch we've developed and are really proud of the work our team has done to bring that to market over the last few years.
Now, PlantSwitch has emerged as a leading manufacturer of plant-based alternative plastic. So I guess one question would be, what are some examples of some of the plant-based materials and products that PlantSwitch offers?
So the core of PlantSwitch technology is we create a raw material or resin that can be used to make all types of plastic products. So that's the real innovation is around that material. Now, one thing that I feel that is really important with any climate tech or biotech company is solving distribution. And so we started basically making our own forks, knives, spoons, and straws out of our own material and then selling those directly to the customer. And that's allowed us to have really great distribution and get into the market quickly. Longer term, we envision working with manufacturers of all types of other products. So not just food packaging, which is where we're focused right now, but into the CPG, cosmetics, agricultural, even potentially medical spaces, because our material can be used to make all these different products. But we're taking a little bit more of a sniper than shotgun approach to make sure that we get really good at a couple things, and then we can land and expand into a broader base of products.
It sounds like a good strategy. Now, there are many routes to sustainable packaging, and in this case, we're talking about compostability. Could you elaborate a little more on this? What should retailers and consumers know about the compostability of your products?
So compostability is a bit of a broad term, but there's really two types or flavors of compostability. So there's industrial compostability, which is typically when you hear compostable, what that means is industrial. And that's great. But what that means is it has to get diverted to an industrial compost facility where it's exposed to really high temperatures. And then at that point, it can break down. And so that's what I'd say is a step in the right direction. But what we target is home compostability, which is where you can put this in your backyard compost bin. It doesn't have to go to this industrial facility. It doesn't have to get exposed to these high temperatures, and it's still going to break down in a matter of just a couple months, not, centuries, right? Yeah. And so our technology is also designed to biodegrade in the natural environment. So, God forbid it doesn't end up in a compost pile or it, gets leaked on its way to the landfill. This is still going to break down in soil or marine environments in a relatively short time frame, and we're certified for zero microplastics as well. So We think it's really important to think about the solution holistically. If you're only able to biodegrade in very certain circumstances, then that's not really solving the problem. And so our technology is designed to biodegrade in all of these different environments. No matter where it ends up, you can feel comfortable that it's a zero waste solution.
Yeah, microplastics. I know that's a big issue right now.
Oh, it's huge. It's they're finding it in our brain, in our hearts, in our lungs, and it's being linked to all sorts of things: cancer, infertility, inflammation. It's I think we're just scratching the surface of understanding what all these microplastics swimming around in our bodies have actually done to us.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. PlantSwitch's compostable plastic products have been hitting national retail shelves from Costco to Walmart, and they are soon to be on the shelves of Whole Foods. So one question is, how did PlantSwitch go about developing relationships with these big name retailers, and what are some of the factors in making these partnerships successful?
So, as far as exposure, we have a great sales team that has a lot of experience selling packaging into the types of customers that we have, and so we were able to leverage some of those relationships. I'd say also a big unlock for us was actually manufacturing the finished product itself and then selling that to the customer. It's the way that a lot of companies in our space have operated is they have this raw material, they try to get someone else to make the product for them and then kind of push it through the supply chain. And that just is a lot harder to do from a sales standpoint than to go to the end customer with a final solution and say, hey, you can buy this at this price point. Here's how you order. Give us a contract. And so we have a really great partner in Taylor Farms, who we launched with last year. They're the largest produce company in the US, if not the world. And right now we're manufacturing all of the single-use forks that go in their salad bowls, which are in Walmart and Costco and a bunch of other locations as well. And I think the key to success there is understanding what the customer needs and then really investing in the partnership with them. So, it's not about trying to optimize all the money that you can make with them year one. It's about proving yourself. It's about building a relationship. It's about listening to their needs and accommodating them, as much as you reasonably can. And that goes a long way when you're building these relationships with enterprise customers who typically, have the same packaging provider for, a decade sometimes. And so we look at everything on a 10 to 20 year timeline, not just, year one. And I think that that's resonated a lot with our major partnerships and customers.
Sounds like a good strategy. Another question is, have you seen any indications of state level EPR regulations boosting demand for your products? And generally speaking, do you expect your products to play a key role in helping companies comply with EPR regulations?
Absolutely. There's a ton of tailwinds. I'd say that EPR is definitely one of them. Every single major enterprise customer in food service, retail, hospitality is very aware of their sustainability footprint. And many of them have been very forward thinking in initiatives around that. Plastic waste is a huge one of those. So I'd say everyone that we talk to is thinking about how do we eliminate plastic waste throughout our supply chain? How do we use less virgin plastic? How do we reduce our carbon footprint? And being very thoughtful about that. And so the EPR is a huge driver of that. I think just as big, if not more, is probably the consumer sentiment. Consumers universally now are really looking to companies to be more sustainable throughout their supply chain. And so a lot of these enterprises were thinking about this even before EPR came into place. And now this is just the cherry on top of, okay, this is something we have to take really seriously. And some love it and embrace it. Some are doing it begrudgingly, but either way, everyone is, trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody will be on the same page at some point, right? Maybe finally, we mentioned that your products will soon be on the shelves of Whole Foods. Are there any other exciting developments that we should be on the lookout for in the coming months, whether with regard to products that PlantSwitch is offering or partnerships that the company is developing?
Yes, so we do have some major partnerships. We'll be launching product over the next, call it 3 to 6 months. Can't go public with those just yet, but we have some exciting ones. What I can say is, I mentioned that we started off with just cutlery and straws as a entry point into the market. Over the next few months, we'll be launching an entire portfolio of food service products, which is really exciting. So that encompasses trays, containers, clamshells, like to-go containers. We're also doing lids for drink cups, both hot and cold, portion cups. So, by the end of Q3, we'll probably have a full portfolio where, any hospitality or food service company can say, look, I just want to go zero waste and I want to do it with PlantSwitch. And we should be able to satisfy most, if not all, of their products, which is really exciting.
That sounds great. Well, thanks for joining us today and sharing how PlantSwitch is helping major retailers achieve their sustainability goals. We look forward to more exciting news from PlantSwitch in the coming months, and we'll be sure to share that news with our readers.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the time and really enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks.